Hello, my friends. Well, this is try number 800,562,106 in trying to get this video out. This is my last ditch effort, and holy cow, has it been a journey. So, today I want to do some flowers on some rocks, and this first idea came from a Facebook site called Rocan Rocks Tutorials, and Rocan is Rocan if you decide you want to go check that out. They do a lot of fun little paintings on rocks, and they do step-by-step tutorials through pictures, which is really, really awesome. So the first thing they've got me doing is putting the or drawing on the petals and the main base of the flower. That was the easy part. Now comes the really, really fun, really technically hard part. I'm showing you the different paints that I'm using. They are, for the most part, they were the closest that I could come to what was being used in the tutorial itself. But they list all of the colors that they use in their tutorials. So, first things first, going down, well, trying to find a brush that's not sad. And then going down with the basic pink. Now the pink, the woman that was doing this said that she paints really, really quite slow. So she does hers a little bit at a time, just a couple petals at a time, so that she can blend. Now I have never blended really, and so this was kind of one of my first times really trying to do some blending. And I was not good at it. This is definitely going to be something I am going to have to practice. So I'm going over the pink with the red right now. It darkens up the petals that are along the bottom. And then we start to go in with the scary color, the black. Now black was just like, I don't even know what to do with this. It seemed so dark. And yet when the flower comes together, it actually looks quite pretty. So I am just trying to blend, but one of the problems I noticed I was having was when I was putting the black down, it was lifting up the paint from the red and the pink. And so I decided after a time that I needed to go at this kind of in a different way, in a way that I understood a little bit better. So I decided to go further with the petals and go a little bit at a time. Okay. As you can see, I'm trying to put a little bit more pink on because I lost all the pink down there. And now I'm continuing on with the others. And I would actually let the layers dry in between. It was just easier for me to do. They don't look as nicely put together as they do on the professional ladies rock, but I did the best I could. Now as we go up the flower, the petals start to lighten up, so we're not really putting on the black unless there's a tiny bit of shadow, but really you want to use more of your darker colors like your red and as you head up the flower, and you're going to do more highlights. Now highlights scared me just as much as the lowlights did of putting on the black. Because I thought it was just overpowering. But the cool thing is, once you finish with the flower, honestly, it all comes together, and even though it looks like a big giant mess, it's a really pretty mess. So I really liked that. Okay, now this is the part where I felt like this flower was finally really coming together. I don't know what the middle part of the flower is called, but once I put that black in there, it was like, oh my gosh, it actually looks like a flower. It was a miracle. Now we take the brown and I think the red and maybe the orange, and we do little tiny, not necessarily dots, but little tiny brush strokes that help make it look like, it's the seeds that are in the center. And so you start with your darker color, your dark brown. You go in over it with some red, and then for, lots of fun, you go in with some, well, I don't know if it was orange or if it was a light pink that we ended with. I made this video about a week and a half ago, so I don't really remember what I did. And where did my rock go? Oh, there it is. Okay. My rock disappeared for a second there. And so this is where I'm trying to do highlights, and again, I feel like it's like so bright, but at the same time, it helps bring it together. And then a little black stem. And the last thing she did, which I thought was really cool, was to take the yellow and really water it down so that it becomes more of a wash. And then you just kind of take it and do a little painting around the flower, and it just kind of highlights the flower. And I think the yellow is really complementary with all that pink, and it just kind of creates this little halo around the flower. And that looks like I did that awfully quick, but in all honesty, that was well over half an hour of me playing back and forth and trying. So, on to flower number 2. Now, this wasn't a Broken Rocks tutorial. This was something else, but oh, I really enjoyed painting this one. I saw it in a picture and thought, oh, I need to make that. And at first, I was just going to paint on the front of it, but then the rock just begged to be painted all over, so I did. I decided to take it and go all the way around. So first I'm going with the yellow, and then you go over it with the orange. But you don't want to mix the orange on there so deeply that it just takes away from all the yellow. So you can, even though you might not be able to see it here in the video, it does kind of give a little streaky look, which I love. Next, you take some black, and you just start dotting on some seeds. I don't know if they're seeds. I'm not sure what they are. But you just put on some little black dots. You just love the little black dots. And again, at first I was thinking, should I go around the entire flower? Should I just do the front? And again, it just begged. The rock was just too perfect. It needed to be painted all the way around. I love dotting. I just think it's so much fun. In fact, I picked up some molds to make some rocks out of some plaster rocks. Isn't that funny? We have all these rocks in the world, but I'm going to make some plaster ones. Anyways, I think that might be what we do next week. Either that or else I'm going to play with some resin. I haven't quite decided which yet. But eventually I would like to... oh, my brain. Where did it go? Eventually I would like to try some mandalas on the rocks. So, next we paint on some petals, which is really easily done. There are 2 websites that I love as far as painting mandalas goes, and if you've got any suggestions, I would love if you put it in the comments down below. But one of them is, my favorite is, it's Amandala, and I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, because to me it looks like her name is Amanda, and then she puts La at the end, so it's like Amanda La or a mandala or a mandala, I don't know. But anyways, she is fantastic. If you ever get a chance to watch one of her videos, I highly recommend it. You can tell, have been doing this for years and years, because the way that she does everything is just absolutely brilliant. She's so precise, and so her patterns are just awesome as well. Now, I started going in with a line brush to do these little shading areas in the bottom, and then ultimately decided I did not like the way that was looking. I was thinking back to the picture, and I hadn't seen the picture honestly in quite some time, but I remembered that there were dots and dashes and that I actually needed a pen, so I tried a couple different pens and finally found one that was actually going to write or draw on my rock. And so I went through and fixed that and liked that much, much better. So I had to wait for the paint to dry along the bottom there. But you'll see I paint over those little guys as well. So the other website that I really like to watch is Jadel Rocks, and she's absolutely adorable. She's got a personality, just, over the moon and back, and she's just so cute. And she comes up with the most fantastic little swirls and things. She'll paint on rock, she'll paint on wood, she'll paint on records, she'll paint on canvases, she'll paint on just about anything she can get her hands on. And she's a delight to watch as well. So if you get a chance, you should check her out. If I remembering is the hard part, I will link their, oh my goodness, I will link their channels in the description. I'm sorry, you guys. It's getting late at night. It's been a very long day. Had an awesome day at work, but I'm tired now. All right, just getting those lines in there. And I really liked the way that just looked. It just looks so much better. So next we're going to keep going all the way around the rock. I still think I got a little bit too busy with that first one on the bottom, but the rock is already sealed and it's out in my rock garden, so it's just going to stay the way it is. Now the last thing I did, and I don't remember if the original artist did this, but I just thought it would make the petals look crisp and clear if we painted the black all along the top of it. Kind of helps bring those petals out a little bit more. And the top of the rock just needed something besides white. In any case, that's today's little tutorials. I hope you liked watching it. I also hope you have an amazing week. And if this actually makes it out, make it a great day. Whichever day you're watching this, make it a great day. And just know that you are so loved. Bye, guys.